Hello there, my name is Anthony Barocas with Aiba Communications, and today I want to do a quick walk through a mobile kit that I am putting together for an event that's going to be happening in the middle of a field in the middle of nowhere. So everything needs to be battery powered. I am currently 1 hour and 41 minutes into recording, and everything's on a battery, and I wanted to make this little demo video walking through the kit that I've got to help other people who are looking to put together similar things. Let's see, I will take out this and I will switch cameras in a moment. All right, so I am now handheld and I have several cameras out here. Let's walk through them real quick. Let's collapse this. So I've got camera one, I got a camera over there, I got a camera over here, and I've got the camera in my hand as well as the camera that's built into the iPad. Haha! Let's see, low battery on the S7A. See, I'm getting a notification. So one of the things I am doing right now is I am testing everything in this kit, and I have been recording for 1 hour and 42 minutes and streaming for 1 hour and 42 minutes. And I want to see where the failure parts are, and now I'm getting an alert that one of the cameras, not this one, is the battery is getting very low, and that is what I really wanted to find out. How long do I really get out of each of these devices? So let's do a quick walk around what we've got going on right here. On my tripod, I've got Switcher Studio running right here, so I've got all my cameras. I have camera control, and then over here is where you can see this battery is getting low in this camera. On top of here, I've got my wireless receiver for the microphone I'm talking to you with, and then that's coming over here to a zoom, and you can see this is coming in on input 2. There's input 2 up here, and then it comes in over here. Hello, 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 because my audio is coming in via the lightning input over here. So that is how that's going on. Why am I using an external mixer when I have just this one mic? Well, because we're going to be outdoors in the field, I actually wanted to have an ambient stereo microphone for birds and wind and trees and everything else. So that's really why I'm utilizing this external device here, is because I have my wireless mics. I'm going to have 3 different wireless devices, and I have stereo audio. Now, honestly, because this is not very isolated very well, I'm actually going to be sending it over to a microphone over here, which has a nice windscreen on it, and that's going to be plugged into the side of the top capsule, and this volume still works for those microphones. So that worked out to be a fortuitous, because I thought that had to be line input, but it's not, it's mic input, and I can vary it here. So every time I touch a control on here, it's not directly transferred into the microphones that are in the unit. It's isolated because the microphone is somewhere else. So, and that's coming out USB right here into my USB adapter, which has external power coming in from a battery which is down here. So that's all on this little tripod, and it's all wireless. Even the camera I'm talking to you with is wireless, as well as all the other cameras, except for obviously the camera that's built in to the iPad. Now, what else do we have going on here? Well, the first thing I have going on here is I have right here a Google Wi-Fi. This is the glue that's holding everything together. You can see by the white light that means I have internet. Red means it's on, but there's no internet. Blue means it's booting up. White means everything is good. And this has been very reliable for me in terms of getting a good signal out to the cameras and handling multiple cameras. This is powered by an external battery. This is, if we scroll all the way down here, I've got an external battery right here that is powering the Google Wi-Fi. But where is this getting the internet? That is the next question. Well, if we continue on here, let me see, yep, okay. If we continue on out here, right up there is my internet. That is a Netgear. I'll move forward so I can put me in the. That is a Netgear M1, and that is on a tall mast with Ethernet out to the Google Wi-Fi. Now, if this can supply Wi-Fi, why am I using a Google Wi-Fi puck? Well, in several tests, I have tried to hook multiple cameras wirelessly up to this on 2 gig, 4 gig, even in the middle of nowhere where there shouldn't be any interference, and it consistently drops frames. So I am not using the Wi-Fi built into the M1 because I have found it not to be reliable, and I'm using the Ethernet out to a wireless hotspot that has been reliable for me. So, and I learned that by testing. So that's on a big stand over here. And then way over here, this is one of the cameras we were talking about. This camera right here is an SE, the old SE, I say now, and this is on a gimbal, and this can be pan and tilted remotely from the iPad, and this is remotely powered, and the camera is remotely powered from the gimbal, which is remotely powered from a battery. So that whole kit right here, I'm just, pushing it, see how long I can let this baby run. Now this one is running very well. This one has plenty of power. Now on my other gimbal has an S7. This is an SE. The other one has an S7. And that one has the exact same setup with the exact same cables and the exact same battery, and it is not getting external power. Low battery. Close. So this is the second kit I have. And as you can see, it's an S7 paired with this gimbal and has the same cable coming in for USB, same power cable coming down to the same battery, and for whatever reason, the camera was not getting power from the gimbal, so then I plugged the camera into the battery, and initially it showed me a plugged in, and that was great, and at the same time now I'm getting another low power warning. So if you give me just a second here, I'm going to try to unplug it and switch plugs, because this power bank has 2 different plugs, so we'll plug it in over there. And now it says plugged in on the camera, which it has said before, so if it dies, I don't know. It's one of those things you test, and then if things aren't working, you swap things out, and you try to figure out what it is that is the problem when it's not clearly evident, because this same cable to this same camera 30 minutes ago, I plugged it into the battery and it said plugged in, and I thought it would charge, but that's not the case. So we are now plugged just the camera, and I unplugged the gimbal. So now the gimbal's going to die, but the gimbal should have plenty of power. It should be fully charged. And then over here is our third camera out here for a test in the sun in Texas. It's about 85 degrees right now, and I've had some of these cameras just crash because of the heat, and that may have done it earlier today. And so I am testing a lo-fi method of protecting the camera called cardboard. Cardboard, okay? Because it is a black camera in the sun in Texas, because we're going to be outdoors at this event, and I just need to shield it from the sun and also give it a little bit of airflow so that the air can go through and help keep it cool at least a little bit. Now, I can't necessarily cover the whole thing because I need that lens to always give me the shot. And I am, of course, also powering this via an external battery coming up to the power jack, which is over here. So you can see how that one is set up, and using a Ulanzi on an adapter to go to a stand right here. So that is a quick walkthrough some of the tests we're doing here. I mean, obviously 2 of the same tests with the gimbals, but 2 different cameras. And then this is also a test in terms of like keeping out in the sun right now for almost 2 hours. So that's a good result with that. And also the data, because we've been streaming the entire time, and Wi-Fi is still good. And moving along, testing the audio, because I have been running the audio box right here. I have been running the Zoom off of battery the entire time. And so after an hour and 51, we are down 1 battery tick. And we've been running, 3 channels pretty much the whole time. And you can see over here, I've got all this different audio coming in. And let's just go back up here. And I can actually just bring this down, bring this up, and bring this over. So now you can see the outdoor camera, and I can indeed pan and tilt the camera up and down. The thing you can't do remotely is you can't correct for position of the tripod. So you got to make sure your tripod's level and the gimbal is level and the camera is level and the gimbal before you begin, because that's something you can't rotate. I guess that would be Z-axis, yaw, whatever. You can't do that remotely. The same thing with this camera. I can pan and tilt, and I can point it way up at the sky. It's turned into a pretty nice day here today. Warm, but nice day. Tomorrow's supposed to be very nasty, but this is why we do our test. Now let's look at, it'd be cool, watch this. We're gonna bring this up, switch, and now we're looking at the gimbal. So let me bring up the gimbal. It's over here, and you can see the gimbal rotating with nobody touching it. And then of course it can tilt up, it can tilt down. And so that is a good demonstration of what we're doing, or what I'm doing here today in not necessarily my studio, but in this space. It's basically my garage and the outside, because I needed to be able to put the cameras outside, get to the heat, and I can't do that from my home studio. The garage served as the most opportune place. So, as I always say, test, test, test. And then the first rule of good mobile production is bring your own Wi-Fi, which is what I'm doing with the Google Wi-Fi behind me. And, going through all the things I'm going on here, 1 hour and 53 minutes in this test. I'm just recording this in the middle of it, and I'll pull this section out later. But I really wanted to see, brute force how long I could get out of all of these things. Okay, the SE1, which is the other device plugged into the gimbal, which is plugged into the battery, the SE1 is now down to 1/4 battery. You can, let's see, close this, and let me give you this view again. What I've got going on is the 7A, which I just gave some power to, is now green, although the battery is critical. The SE1, which is the other device that is powered in the gimbal, it's down to 1/4. So the rate of descent of power on the SE1 has been slower than the 7, but I think that's always because it's had external power coming into it from the gimbal. So we're doing pretty good there. And then down here, you can see the 7B with the external battery. Great battery length. It's fully charged. So it's taking all the power from the external battery, and when the external battery dies, it will go down. And then of course the blue camera, which I'm holding now, quite nearly a full battery and doing a fantastic job. So that is a quick look at all the different things I got going on with this mobile kit. Obviously, it's built for this particular job. It's configured to suit the needs of this particular task. And I hope this helps other people who are looking to build mobile kits to be out in the middle of nowhere and be able to produce shows, live streaming. And with that, my name is Anthony Barocas of Aiba Communications. Thanks for watching.